So, and I mean, basically, what it all boils down to this one woman, and like I said, I'm trying to make it as short as I can, but she, like I said, I got mad, I stormed out, and guess what she decided to finally do? Communicate with me
Wow.
via text, no less. Two texts after I got a little bit aggressive.
Wow.
What does that tell you?
Wow.
I mean, it just tells me that she was willing to react to me out of something that's negative
Yeah.
rather than something that's positive.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what kind of business is this?
Yeah.
You know, she the one who came to me, and she basically was telling me I'm going through a sad time and everything. Well, she could have came up to me and told me that herself to my face.
Mhm. Instead of lying to you.
No, or instead of sending me someone else to do it for her.
Yeah. Doing the dirty job.
You know, I mean, she was just inches away from where I was.
Oh my
And
God.
she couldn't even come out of her little office, little tiny little bitchy office, I would say, and come talk to me to my face and just be, and it doesn't have to be a long time. Listen, it could be less than 2 minutes. And I would have been out of there and I would have been fine. I would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
But since she couldn't do it, since she didn't even, had a courtesy to tell me, and in that retrospect, sorry folks, that's our security guard that's coming around doing his job. He's doing an excellent job, by the way. So, and getting back to what I was getting at, yeah, she basically said, that not to be rude to her recipient, or not to recipient, her secretary,
Yeah.
and that she's going through a sad time. Okay, so she couldn't have come out and tell me that she was going through a sad time herself. And I just want to ask her 2 questions, or at least just one at least. She couldn't even give me the time. So I basically had enough. I parked the car, got out in the park somewhere, and I started texting. I gave her a long text, and I simply bitched her out. I basically got to a point where I've had enough. And not to mention, not just I did it to her, I was calling a lot of people that didn't do business the right way, and I bitched them out too. I got to that point. I was at that point where I've snapped, but I didn't snap too bad where I was really totally losing it, but I got to a point where I've had enough. I had enough. And I basically called them, I called other people, but with her, I texted her, letting her know. All I wanted to do was ask her a question, what is the status of her business? Because a lot of things were starting to come up now. Since I worked a lot this summer on businesses and so forth, and also working with business partners, working with another with a friend of mine that has his business that I'm in his partner of. There's a lot of things that are coming up, a lot of things are building upon now. And the thing about it is, so then I have some odd jobs here and there that I have to work with, so I have a schedule in a sense. So I just can't be
Messing around.
yeah, I can't be messing around. I have a schedule that I work with, and I have a time, and I just felt that they were not respecting my time. They weren't respecting my time. They weren't respecting my space and everything like that. So I just felt like I've had enough, and like I said, I've lost it. I got angry, and but I still kept my cool enough to sound articulate.
Yeah.
I still sound good. I didn't sound like I was, mumbling or anything like that. I just said it straight. I just spoke to them, and I texted her, and I basically told her, you know what? You could have come out and told me all this yourself to my face. And I just told her that basically, I wanted to ask you some questions regarding what was the status, because I need to figure out whether I should still say yes to you, or whether I should move on and do other things, because a lot of things are coming up.
Yeah.
I can't, and I just told her, I'm not going to sit around and wait for you forever for your answer.
Yeah.
Either you give me an answer now,
Or that's it.
and that's it. And I got to that point where I basically say, I'm not going to wait for you forever. I mean, and not that I really sat there and waited around, because like I said, I kept busy anyway. I just did my thing. But I'm not good. Like I said, I don't wait for anybody. And I've learned that years ago that you cannot wait for anybody. If you really value things enough, you won't wait for people. You move on, or people, if they're serious, they'll give you a call. They'll give you a call or contact you, and they'll say, "Come on, let's just get this done. Let's just get this thing rolling. Let's sign some papers, whatever the case may be."
Yeah.
So in that sense, I basically told her, you know what, and also I told her, remember, you came to me.
Yeah.
I didn't come to you. You came to me with that proposal. to being a holistic health practitioner. You know, I didn't come to you looking for a job. You came to me. And to be honest with you, Chanel, I don't necessarily really see. I'm doing all this, so I don't have to have a job or have a contracted job or anything. I want to be financially free, and quite frankly, if I'm going to do anything holistically, I really at some point want to create my own business or clinics and stuff like that. I don't necessarily like working for people too much. Even, I mean, I love, the only reason why I would tolerate working for certain jobs is because the money is not only good, but it's more satisfying. Like, I would work for acting, and I would work for a director. Or for holistic health, I would work for somebody. But for other jobs like that, I just don't like to work for a boss because bosses don't know, first of all, you're really not under a real actual president. You're really under a manager. Managers are not leaders. And so most of the time, managers are just a bunch of, nothing but bullies and even tyrannical at times the way they do things. And,
Yeah.
and I've seen it too much nowadays, and too much politics
Yeah.
in the workplace, and just too much of a lot of BS that I'd rather just run myself, or at least have some few employees here and there, and in that way I could be in control of what I want and how I want to do things, or how the money flows in and so forth. So, like I said before, I think a lot of the problems in our society, the way business are run, is that people don't know how to conduct business, or they try to conduct it from an old world view, which is all about, taking everything, meaning greed, the old ways of doing things, and rather than cooperation, and rather than knowing that there's enough for everybody. But, yeah, I basically told her off. I told the lady off. Not to get off on a tangent, but to finish this up, I told her basically, I said that I'm done. Whenever you're ready to, first of all, you're done grieving, and whenever you're ready to really work with me for real, you got my number.
Yeah.
The ball was in her court. So I gave it up to her, like, okay, this is your court now. It's your time. It's your call now. I'm done. I'm moving on. And then next thing you know, then a few minutes later on, she texted me again, and she says, "Oh, forget I ever asked." And I basically thought to myself, already forgotten.
Like, I lost your number, that's it. That's old business, whatever.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, if she wants to behave that way because I called her out on her shit, then you know what? Forget it. She don't deserve me.
Yeah.
And I really doubt that any practitioners that she has that she's going to attract will be any better than me. Not to sound arrogant, but I know my shit. I know my stuff. I've been more experienced than most of the practitioners in the community, in the metaphysics community. I got more experience than a lot of them. Now, there are people that have more experience than me, and those are the ones that have books. Those are the ones that are either have books or have money, and those that have books and money, and they got a lot of help and so forth, but they also have a lot of knowledge, and they'll do that as well. And they're doing it, and they're doing a great job, like Deepak Chopra and various other guys like that. And like I said, and Rainbow. I basically ranted to Rainbow yesterday on the phone, and Rainbow was also, you know what, but Bear, don't take this so personally. They are not just doing it to you. They're not just disrespect. They're really not disrespecting you. They're really doing it to themselves.
Yeah.
They're going around do. They're just dawdling around.
Happy. Look at me.
They're just dawdling around, but they don't have a sense of real purpose, or they don't have any real discipline.
Yeah.
And they're not just doing it to just themselves or you. They're doing it to other people too.
Yeah.
It's just that other people are just friends of theirs, and they just take it. And whether it's people like you and me, or other people that we associate with who are more powerful and in caliber in life, would not have taken it. And she's made. And I was like, wow, she made a good point. She made a very good point by actually, pointing out that other people would not have taken it. And I actually know, like I said, we've been very fortunate that we know some millionaires and so forth who we're working with right now, who actually do value our time. When we do call or when we do email, whether it's either the same day or the next day, or maybe even 2 days after, but no more than 2 days.
Yeah.
No more than 2 days, respond.
Yeah.
Respond quickly, professionally, and efficiently. And I get satisfied. And I get relaxed and I move forward. See, that's the kind of thing that people need to be doing more of. People need to be more considerate. People need to be more like really professional minded and use common sense. And really work on themselves and work on their relationships and things like that. Just like what you said. I mean, working on themselves, thinking about yourself first. Now, it's good to think about the community.
Yeah, it is.
But remember, we are the community because it needs to also be us too. We are our own community as well.
Yeah.
And like I said, I really think people need to take a look at this particular blog on our website, Conducting Business 101, rehabbing.blogspot.com. And so before we depart, what do you guys have to say for the people out in the world? Even though you're not in the business or anything, do you have any comments? No comments? Well, you know what? I normally don't have people just come and interrupt me like this, but I think I just think it just flowed very well. Just when you came out and just, came when I was talking, that was pretty cool.
Thank you.
I do thank you for your contribution in this. I do not know what I would have said if I was just doing it by myself. But you kept me on track, and that's pretty cool. But guys, listen. One of the key things that I'm doing this right now, this video, is because, like I said, people need to learn how to really do businesses, especially those who are inspiring entrepreneurs or those who want to do multi-level marketing, or want to be financially free in their own way. First thing is first, they have to know how to really conduct business properly with other people. That's the key thing. And so by learning how to do that, you just simply have to know and we read certain books or learn from self-made millionaires, go to training calls and so forth. But like I said, but nothing really replaces learning how to really honing up to yourself, working on yourself. And like I said, with this article down there, you're going to also, after the article, you're going to also have other sources of information that you can also look at, and you can view it for yourself and learn from different people too. So, in any event, Janelle, thank you very much for your contribution. I didn't expect it, but that was pretty cool.
Thank you.
Anyways, listen, people. Like I said, go ahead now, rehabbank.blogspot.com, and read the article, Conducting Business 101. Take care, everybody, and have a great day. Healing, it is all that is.